Hello everyone, welcome to this short video presentation on English idioms. Let me begin the session by asking a simple question. Is it easy to learn a language or it becomes a Herculean task? I am sure many of you would say that it is a combination of both. Yes, there are various areas in learning a language which are extremely difficult and challenging. One such is learning and mastering English idioms. There is a misconception that English idioms are profusely and spontaneously used only by the native speakers of English. But in my experience as a teacher and a student of the English language, I feel that it is easy to learn and master English idioms. Okay, let me begin by giving a short introduction to idioms. An idiom can be defined as a group of words which has an implied meaning and it is understood because of its popular use. Say, for example, crocodile tears. Many of us are familiar with this idiom, crocodile tears. Now, there are so many interesting theories which are associated with this particular idiom. There is an ancient belief that crocodiles have the tendency to shed tears while consuming their prey. We do not know. Somehow this idea got incorporated into the modern languages, especially European in Europe, where it got introduced through Latin. There is another belief that crocodiles have the tendency to lubricate their eyes, especially when they are out of water for a long time. There is yet another interesting theory which says that tears are automatically generated once they come out of water. Whatever it is, we, even in everyday conversation, make use of this idiom, crocodile tears. So, an idiom is a phrase whose meaning cannot be understood using a dictionary. And for this reason, linguists call it as the subtext or something that is implied. So, a serious learner of the English language should try to understand the subtext or the implied meaning in order to use English idioms in relevant contexts. Now, English idioms are also peculiar or associated to one particular people or country or community, and therefore it is more oriented towards the culture of that particular group. Say, for example, take this idiom, work like a horse. In the European context, horse is used for cultivation and also for transportation. So, if this idiom is to be taught to a person in India, especially in the southern part of India, he or she might find it very difficult to understand because we know only ox. So, it will be very difficult to remember and make use of this idiom, work like a horse. It is believed that American English is filled with a lot of idioms, and Americans have the tendency to incorporate idioms even in their daily conversations, and they provide a rich source of the nation's culture. There is also another understanding that only native speakers of English can spontaneously make use of idioms and phrases. Then, when it comes to translating idioms into another language, it becomes all the more challenging because the meaning gets distorted and sometimes it does not make any sense at all. And what happens is idioms, especially the meanings of idioms, become fixed in the course of a time. And very easily they are misunderstood by the reader or the listener, and hence the purpose of its use gets defeated. Now, what you find on screen is a set of idioms which are used in everyday conversation. I'm here to explain a few of the idioms. When you say somebody eats like a horse, it means that the person eats a lot. Say, for example, in spite of eating like a horse, she or he looks very thin and miserable. Now, take the next one, make a mountain out of a molehill. Sometimes we have the tendency to exaggerate a very small issue. Say, for example, you cannot trust Shyam because he has a tendency to make a mountain out of a molehill. Now, look at the next one, barking up the wrong tree. What is the meaning of barking up the wrong tree? Sometimes you miserably fail to understand something. You can say, my brother had been working the max problem for more than 30 minutes. Now he suddenly realizes that he has been barking up the wrong tree. What about monkey business? Sounds interesting, isn't it? For example, you should always have a watch over the behavior of small children because they are up to some monkey business now and then. Now, raining cats and dogs. I'm sure most of us are familiar with this idiom, raining cats and dogs, meaning it rains very heavily. These days in Madurai, it rains cats and dogs. Now, let the cat out of the bag, letting out a secret. She has a tendency to let the cat out of the bag. Now, these are idioms which are very commonly used in everyday conversation. Now, shall we learn some animal idioms? Look at the first one, horse's mouth. You are not sure about an issue. You want more details or information. So you feel that you should not try to fabricate anything. You need to get the information from the horse's mouth, meaning you have to get details from those people who are actually involved in that issue. Now look at the next one. Worm has turned. We have heard about the sufferings of the African Americans. For centuries, they had been suffering. It is a historic suffering. Okay, the worm has turned, and now African Americans have begun to redefine their identities in a different way. Look at the next one, straw that broke the camel's back. The meaning is the single thing that exceeds a limit of patience. Look at the last one, be in one's bonnet. Meaning is someone is too excited, especially in a negative way. Say, for example, so and so is obsessed with fast food. I think she has got a bee in her bonnet, right? Now, shall we move on to the next category of color idioms? Oh, these are really colorful and interesting. Shall I explain a few of these idioms? Take the first one, caught red handed. My brother had been copying. I think he is going to get caught red handed this time. So somebody is caught exactly at that moment in the act of doing something. Look at the next one, a golden opportunity. People love to make use of golden opportunities. We don't want to miss our chance. White lie. We know, we have heard of lies, and we have been told right from our childhood days that we shouldn't tell lies. But what is a white lie? White lie is told with the intention, or probably not with the intention of hurting someone. Okay, so don't mistake her. It was, after all, a white lie. Then look at this one, green with envy. On hearing the success story of her friend, Jane became green with envy. Oh, she became very, very jealous. Now, black sheep. The teacher senses something inside the classroom. Okay. And she suspects someone. She says, I know the black sheep, but I want you people to come forward and regret for what you have done. Green thumb. My mother has green thumbs, meaning she is skilled in gardening. She has a way of maintaining her garden. If you are interested, you can read Alice Walker's In Search of Mother's Gardens, where she talks about her mother who had an exceptional interest in gardening and how she loved and nurtured her plants. Now, movie idioms sounds interesting, isn't it? Now, look at the first one, a popcorn movie. Oh my god, we haven't come across this. What is a popcorn movie? A movie that you watch exclusively for the sake of entertainment. Probably as you eat a pocket of popcorn, you enjoy the movie. Okay? Now, the next one, Jump the Shark. It is partially derogatory. It refers to those shows and certain films which have actually lost their quality. These days, we don't get a chance to watch teleserials which are really screened for the purpose of bringing about a change in the society. They have jumped the shark, they have lost their quality. So, that is the meaning for the expression jump the shark. Now, look at this, kick something off. A teacher tries her best to initiate a conversation. But you know what happens in an Indian classroom? Everybody is quiet. But you can be the first person to break the situation and you can kick off a conversation. So you make a fresh beginning. That is the meaning. Next one, break a leg. It sounds negative, isn't it? But it has got a different meaning. It seems there is a common belief among those people involved in the entertainment industry that when they get ready for their performance, you should not wish them by saying, wish you all the best or good luck. Instead, you should say, you have to break a leg, meaning they will have good luck. Okay. So, look at the way an idiom is used. So, break a leg sounds negative, but it has got a very, very positive connotation. In the limelight. So, if you want to become a popular artist or an actor or a sports personality, you are there in the limelight. You are there in the public eye. People want to know what is happening to in your personal life also. Museum piece. Now, it refers to something or someone which is very, very old, out of place. Okay, and it is fit for a display only in a museum. Probably, can we say in this digital era, human beings have become like museum pieces? Why? Machines are doing their best. So, it is always interesting to learn a language in a specific context. That's why I decided to make this presentation on by categorizing idioms under various heads like color idioms, vegetable idioms, movie idioms, etc. Now, when a context is created, it becomes very, very easy for learners to remember and use them in the right appropriate situation. Okay, fine. What you learned in this video is only the tip of the iceberg. You have to explore and learn a lot if you want to master English idioms. So, what will happen when you have a sound knowledge of all these English idioms?